Dear students of class ninth, today we'll discuss second chapter. Name of the chapter is Physical Feature of India. So when we are talking about physical feature of India, so what is the meaning of physical feature? The literal meaning, what you can give to this term as landforms, physiographic division, topography. So all these are the synonyms. So in this chapter we will discuss about the formation of major physiographic units of our country. In India we are getting all the major physical features such as mountain, plain, desert, plateau, islands, and these have been formed during different geological period. And besides geological formation, number of processes such as weathering, erosion, deposition have also created a significant role in the formation of present landform of our country. So there is very important theory regarding this. If you will take geography as your major subject in class graduation level and post graduation level, so you will see that several hypotheses are there, thoughts are there, theories are there given by different scientists. So most relevant and most scientific theory is given by Wagner regarding the formation of major physiographic divisions of the world, and this theory is known as theory of plate tectonics. According to this theory, the crust of the earth has been formed out of seven major and some minor plates, and these plates are always in motion. These plates are floating in semi-solid layer of the earth that is known as asthenosphere. So the topics which are included here in this chapter: physical feature of India, theory of plate tectonics, then movement, plate boundaries, major physiographic divisions like the Himalayan mountains, the northern plain, the peninsular plateau, the Indian desert, the coastal plain, islands. So all this topic we will discuss here. So with regard to the movement of tectonic plates, what I told you that the tectonic plates, they are always in motion. They are floating in semi-solid layer of the earth that is known as asthenosphere. So with regard to the movement of the tectonic plates, here you will see this map. This map is showing you important important plates what we are having. So these are the important plates what we can see on the planet Earth. After that we'll discuss about the movement of the tectonic plates. So with regard to the movement of tectonic plates can be of three types. There are three types of movement in the tectonic plates. Here you can see the movements have been shown here. First movement, that is the convergent movement of the tectonic plates. So with regard to the convergent movement of the tectonic plates, here you can see two plates are moving towards one another. When two plates are moving towards one another, this type of movement is known as convergent movement of tectonic plates, and these plates are forming convergent boundary. Then second type of movement, that is known as divergent movement of tectonic plates. Here you can see the two plates are moving apart. When the two plates are moving away from one another, then these plates are known as divergent tectonic plates, and they are forming divergent boundary. And third type of movement what we are getting here, sometimes it may happen that instead of moving towards one another or moving apart from one another, two plates may slide against the boundary of one another. This type of movement is known as transform movement, and these plates are forming transform boundary. So these are the three types of movement of the tectonic plates. And this movement of the tectonic plates lead to the folding, faulting and the volcanic activities, and only due to the movements of the tectonic plates and these activities, present landforms of the earth and also our country have been formed over millions of years. After that, we will discuss about the formation of major landforms of our country. So with regard to the formation of major landforms of our country, just I told you about the theory of plate tectonic given by Wagner. So what he believed that about millions and millions of years ago, there was a single landmass, single continent, supercontinent. It was named as Pangaea by Wagner, Pangea, Pangaea by Wagner, and this Pangaea has broken into number of pieces as tectonic plates. So regarding the formation of plates, you might have studied in science also. As we are moving toward the interior of the crust of the temperature increases. There is also presence of radioactive elements inside the crust of the earth. So due to high temperature and presence of radioactive elements, convectional currents are forming. And these convectional currents are moving from the core of the earth toward the crust, and they are dashing with the crust continuously. This process is continuous in nature. So due to continuous clashing or dashing of the convectional current with the outer crust, Pangaea has broken into number of pieces. And these pieces are known as tectonic plates. So regarding the formation of major landforms of our country, as per the theory, there were two ancient seas, Angara land in the north, or if you want you can call it the Eurasian plate, and Gondwana land in the south, or if you want you can call it Indo-Australian plate. Two plates were there, and these two plates were sandwiched by a geosyncline or a shallow sea named Tethys. So when we are talking about geosyncline, means a shallow and elongated sea is known as geosyncline. The rivers which were draining Angara land and Gondwana land, they deposited sediments in the Tethys Sea. And due to the movement of Indo-Australian plate towards much larger Eurasian plate, the sediments which were deposited in the Tethys Sea that folded to form mountains, or you can say the Himalayas. So when the Himalayas were taking their birth from the Tethys Sea, at that time what happened, the northern edge of the peninsular plateau that subsided, and due to the subsidence of the northern edge of the peninsular plateau, one depression, one basin was formed, and in that basin the Himalayan rivers and also the peninsular rivers deposited the sediments, and due to the deposition of the sediments, the great northern plain of India has been formed. And with regard to the southernmost peninsular plateau, southernmost part of our country, that is the peninsular plateau. This is the broken part of the Gondwana land, and this part is considered as most stable block or the landmass of our country. So this question is very important. You may be getting named the oldest landmass of our country. So you will write the peninsular plateau. And with regard to the Himalayas and northern plain, they are the most recent landforms. After that, we will discuss about the major physiographic divisions of our country. So with regard to the major physiographic divisions of our country, first let us discuss about the Himalayan mountains. So with regard to the Himalayan mountains, they are geologically young and structurally fold mountains. So these mountains, they run in a west-east direction from Indus in the west to the Brahmaputra river in the east. It is lying just like an arc along the northern frontier of our country, and the total length is about 2400 kilometer, and with regard to width, that varies from 400 kilometer in Kashmir to 150 kilometer in Arunachal Pradesh. And with regard to the height, there is variation in height. In the western half, we are getting less height, but as we are moving toward the eastern side, the height increases. So there are three parallel ranges in the Himalayas. In the north, Himadri, then Himachal, and the southernmost range is known as Shivalik. These are the three parallel ranges of the Himalayas. First, let us discuss about the Himadri range. So some of the characteristic of the Himadri range is that this range is most continuous range, and the average height is about 6000 meters above the mean sea level, and most of the important peaks are found in this range of Himalaya, like Mount Everest, Kanchenjunga. So prominent peaks, important peaks are lying in this range of the Himalayas, and this range is asymmetrical in nature, means it is not same in size and also what we called height. And with regard to the core of this range of the Himalaya is made up of granite, that is the example of igneous rock. After that, we will discuss about the Himachal range. So with regard to the Himachal range, this lies to the south of the Himadri, and this range is having the average height of about 3700 to 4500 meter, and it is composed of highly compressed and altered rock. Width of this range of the Himalaya is 50 kilometer, and most of the hill stations are lying in this range of the Himalayas. We are also getting important valleys also in this range. After that, we will discuss about the Shivalik range. This is the southernmost range of the Himalaya. So this range is having the height in between 900 to 1100 meter, and width of this range varies from 10 to 50 kilometer. And this range is made up of unconsolidated sediment, means soft sediments brought down by the river from main Himalayan ranges. And with regard to this range of the Himalaya is prone to landslide because it is made up of soft sediment, unconsolidated sediment. So landslide is very common here. And in between the Himachal and Shivalik ranges, we are getting narrow valleys, longitudinal valleys, and these valleys are known as dunes. You can take the example of Dehradun, Kotli Dun, Patli Dun. These are some of the longitudinal valleys. After that, we will discuss about east to west division of the Himalayas. From west to east, Himalayas have been demarcated by different river valleys. So the part of the Himalayas lying in between Indus and Satluj, that is known as Punjab Himalaya, but it is also regionally known as Kashmir and the Himachal Himalayas. Then part of the Himalaya lying in between Satluj and Kali river, that is known as Kumayu Himalaya. And the part of the Himalaya lying in between Kali and Tista river, that is known as the Nepal Himalaya. And in between Tista and Dihang river, the part of the Himalaya is known as Assam Himalayas. And after that, this range of the Himalaya beyond the Dihang river, it turns toward the south, and number of hills are there, and the hills together known as Purvanchal, or we can say the Eastern Hills. So Purvanchal or the Eastern Hills comprises of many hills like Garo, Khasi, Jansia. These are the important hills which are constituting the Purvanchal or the Eastern Hills. Okay, and the remaining topic we will discuss in the next video. Okay, thank